Welcome back to the Qt Developer. Today I think we're going to spend a little bit of time showing how to navigate the Interactive Broker website. Although it seems rudimentary, it's actually quite important. The documentation is very important to try to understand. So if you come to the interactivebroker.com website and you scroll down, I'm going to look for this TWSAPI. When I click on that, it'll launch a new window. Now I'm going to be coding in C++, so I'm going to immediately choose C++. However, it's going to give everything we need to know on the left-hand side. Now, if you want to download the Interactive Broker Trader Workstation, that's what TWS stands for, use this one. And the difference between the TWS, the Trader Workstation, and the IB Gateway is really the interface. The IB Gateway has no interface. We just directly connect, and there's nothing to see other than that connection. Now the API, if you choose Download TWS API, it will give you this option here to download the TWS API. If I click on this, it will take me to this page, choose I agree, and then it'll bring us back to what I was showing in the last video. You can also just do the search on TWS API GitHub and it'll bring you here too. Notice it's on GitHub. However, I thought it was important really to go through this site because there are little nuances. So although I may show you a few things, may show you some shortcuts, this is the central location in which you can find everything. So then it talks about installing the TWS API on Windows, and it goes through a pretty lengthy explanation of it. Then if you choose Mac Linux, it will also go through the installation process, specific to Mac, etc. Now I won't be using Python, so this doesn't apply to me. And then if I begin to scroll down a little bit more, it gets more into the actual API itself. It talks about unique configurations. Now in here, this is extremely important. And if you remember, one of the entries in our Qt project was for this specific library. We need to have this decimal floating point math library. Well, let's just say it's new, a newly added module or requirement in order to use the API. And the reason why is because of cryptocurrencies. You need this math library in order to run the cryptocurrencies. So if we take a look at this link, it's going to take us to the Intel decimal floating point math library. This is big and lengthy. However, if you download it, place it in the location, and then link to it in your Qt project, everything will be quite happy. This library, this is important. It's one of those things that can be problematic and annoying. However, that's another reason why I wanted to go through this website, the Interactive Broker website. It's called the IBKR campus. But this is extremely important. And if you choose Linux, it'll bring you right to the Linux version, and then you can download it. There is a brief explanation of the architecture. It talks about a sample, the test CPP client, which is based on the EWrapper. We'll get into all of this. But most of the things that I'll get into, they are covered inside of this IBKR campus. We'll just be doing it all together within Qt, the Qt creator and our project. Shows connectivity, shows all of these things. And it does give some examples. And this is about a third of the way down the scroll page. But the most important thing is just to get started, I would suggest this is extremely important. This can be one of these things that is pretty frustrating. So I gave you the shortcut in the last video, but this is the longer version of what you need to do and how you can download it. So this is pretty much how you'll use the website and the documentation. So now if we go back and look at the notes and limitations. So here are some notes. We're in C++, but let's scroll down a little bit to the limitations. Now this is one that's interesting. Canadian residents will be restricted from programmatically trading Canadian products. So that's interesting for Canadian developers who are wanting to do anything within the Canadian systems. Now, paper trading, it does have some limitations. Take a look at those, and there's a bunch of them. So you skip down to the limitations. All right, so there's no support for specific order types. The fields are simulated, so it's a little more difficult to get them filled. Complex orders, which you probably won't be getting into. And penny trading for options, again, I won't be getting into those. nor will I be doing anything with mutual funds. So it'll specifically be just buy and sell. That's what we'll get into, the basics. And so this is a brief example and an illustration of how you kind of navigate through this and the important components. So just to revisit some of them, downloading the TWSAPI, or right here, this is the API. If you want to download, it says download the TWSAPI. Download TWS, which is download the Trader Workstation. Click on this link here, download Trader Workstation. And the next one is unique configurations. When you select unique configurations, Intel download the decimal library for macOS and Linux. So these are the three main areas that you should be concerned with, and that's how you get started in downloading what you'll need in order to follow along. So thank you for watching. I hope this was somewhat helpful, and I will see you soon. Happy coding!